Hello, YouTube. How you doing? I've been asked by a lot of people to speak, and that's cool because I like to talk. I love to talk. I love people. Over the last few years, I've been coming across some things that I've been very afraid of. Been very afraid to talk about it because I was afraid that people would think that I was crazy. I was afraid people would think that I was doing the devil's work. That's never been me. No, I've never looked at myself as an evil person or anything, but I've been feeling these energies uh, for a few years now, and it actually started happening to me a few years ago. More than a few years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and I ran from it. I pushed it away because it scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what it was. Uh, but it got to the point where I could not turn away from it. The more that I turned from it, the worse things got for me in my life. Um, so I began to research uh, what this could be. I just kind of Googled it, uh, and after doing some of this research and watching videos, reading articles, I come to find out that there's a spiritual thing going on. Um, these energies have been very strong, very prevalent. For me, right around the time of a full moon, the week before, the week after, sometimes 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, it gets really, really deep. Um, sometimes I just have to go and lay down. Sometimes I just get really irritable. Sometimes I get this really overwhelming feeling of joy, but it's usually very profound. I didn't know what to do with it. I started after doing certain reading and, like I say, videos, and a very good friend of mine who I've known for quite some time helped me through the very beginnings of this thing, and we began to go to psychic fairs, and I'd done one or two of those in the past because I've always been fascinated by it. Um, didn't think it was me, but I was very fascinated by it. Uh, anyway, go to the psychic fair, and there was this whole different world that opened up for me. Um, I felt like I was at home. I don't know how else to explain it. I just really felt like I was home. Don't know any of these people, but just felt like I was at home. Uh, I sat down with some people and they started talking to me about things that were going on with me that were true, but they couldn't possibly know those things about me without me talking to them, unless they're getting some signals. Uh, it blew my mind. Uh, I've had one or two situations in my life where that has happened to me, where someone has just outright come up to me and said it, and I just kind of blew it off. I thought, but there was one person that said something to me about 15 years ago that just really kind of blew me away. And we're very good friends to this day. With that said, um, trust your gut. If you're feeling these energies, if you are confused about it, it's okay to be confused about it. If you are feeling irritable, it's okay. But check yourself. Don't don't lash out at people. If you are in the midst of someone and you can feel that they are in need of consoling, they need some help. If you feel it, it's okay to help, but don't get pulled in to taking on other people's stuff. That's not your job. Your job is not to take on other people's stuff. You can help them if they're willing to receive the help, but you can't help people that do not want to be helped. Okay? You can't help people that don't want to be helped. A lot of people gravitate towards me, and I wasn't sure why until I started learning about this. I mean, I always said when I was a little kid, when I was a little boy, I always said I'm a people magnet. And I always said that because I loved people. I could walk into a room, regardless of where I was, and I could come out having just a ton of friends. And I didn't try. I mean, I was silly, I was goofy, but at the same time, I loved it. As I got older, I still like that sort of thing, but I have gotten to the point where I really kind of need to step back and just have more time to myself. Ooh, this thing's really rocking. So I'm really at the point where I've stepped back and I've really kind of gotten away from people the way that I used to be, connected to them. Wow, what's going on? I'm sitting out here on the water on this little dock. It's kind of calming down now, I guess, but okay. Anyway, there are a lot of people out there that want to get a piece of that energy, that thing that you've got, the gift. You're probably gifted. And people want a part of that gift, a piece of it. You don't owe people access to your energy, to get inside your bubble. People do not need to be in your bubble unless you give them access to you. It's that simple. If you don't want people to have access to you, thank you. Thank you. The geese. The geese. Anyway, people don't need to have access to your energy, to your gifts, unless you give them permission to have it. If you're like me, you're a real giver. You do what you can for somebody. I didn't like to tell people no for a long time because I used to think I was going to hurt their feelings. They weren't going to like me. After a while, you get tired of worrying about what everybody else thinks because they've shown you they're not there for you in any kind of way unless they can get something out of you. This can be your friends, it can be your coworkers, it can be your family. But forget all that. People don't need to be in your bubble, have access to what you got, unless you give them that permission. I feel like I'm just kind of all over the place here. This is the first time I'm doing this. So I'm really kind of just flying through it. But I'll do it again. But I just want to put it out there. You're not crazy. I plan to do more of these. Not sure what I'll talk about. But if you're still here, I thank you for your time. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay safe.